Too early for that intro. Not yet. I gotta fix Catherine's camera. Where? Oh, it's there. I was looking for your name. That doesn't make any sense. Fantastic. You were talking Sue earlier, Ryan. There was like some Asmodeus spamming me with these SWU convention advertisements on YouTube. I Galactics. That's fun. I mean, there's only so many, planets, universes, right? I get it. I get it. But yeah, they really are like, if if we couldn't craft a better target for SWU, other than William Hegwood, so they're hitting me hard on these advertisements. But I still don't know what convention they're talking about though. I assume we'll just one in Chicago. Oh, it's in Vegas. Not LVO. I guess it seems like it. Yeah, we're talking unlimited. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm really wants me to go to a SWU convention, and apparently it's in Las Vegas. I don't know anything about this. I haven't been swooning it up. You got me interested. I'll have to look at some decks for the new, more pilot focused expansions. Ooh, okay. Well, it looks like everybody's volumes. What's up? Oh, there you go. That's why we're doing audio checks.
Isn't it the ninja thing though?
No, no, no. It was me. It was on my end.
Oh,
I had to flip
okay.
every switch. That's why we're
All the
doing
switches.
pre-checks.
Check,
Uh,
check.
I think it's coming through now potentially. Let me turn you up on my Discord. You're a little quiet. Want to be able to hear you. Hey, you get me excited. I start shouting about X-Wing. So here.
They probably also think I'm talking because I see my model going blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
like it.
thinking too.
But yeah, I apologize that the ninja's messing that up. But we'll have to test it more another time. But I think everything's working now. Yep, getting good responses here. There we go. Greg says we can hear. Fantastic. Let's hit the intro
Yay.
and just follow my lead for introductions, I guess. Maybe if I had my drink around here. Sorry, I'll figure that out. Babe, Alyssa, can you give me a drink? Anything. I thought I had water. She sighed and shook her head. All right. All right, let's run the intro then and get underway. This is episode 385 of the Gold Squadron podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Will, pretty mid Inquisitor, Hegwood, and tonight I'm joined by Ryan, Legends of the Force, Staniszewski.
Yes, another set of SWU. Fun times ahead. Pre-release and new cards, cracking packs.
Also joining us, we have Catherine Foxy Nixera.
Foxes are in the house tonight.
Yes, indeed. And we're be talking a bunch of stuff about XWA, the X-Wing Alliance's new community points that they dropped. Oh, shoot. Last week? Yeah, because we were talking about it last week. Still so fresh in my mind. Before we get to that, though, we got to thank, you know them, the GSP Patreons. That's what keeps everything in motion around here. They're our largest group of supporters. They go to patreon.com/Gold Squadron. Then you come on Patreon. We have, oh no, they help us with things like that intro, even when it is unexpected. So things like that is what they help. They get us to events. You keep the lights on, as we say. But if you want to become one of those Patreons, you gotta head to patreon.com/Gold Squadron. So with that out of the way, we got some more exciting points to break down. Catherine, so kind of you to come on. We super appreciate it. Your name is on this points document. You are part of that development team. Could you explain more about your role?
Sure, I'm on the points team, and of course, we're doing everything involving points. So pointing, pointing existing things, pointing any new things that come along, and keeping an eye on everything for balance and trying to keep the game fresh and whatnot.
Awesome to hear. I mean, you guys been toiling away ever since the beginning. I mentioned working on updates like the one we're looking at right now. So I'm excited to see what your work has come up with here for points, and hopefully get some insight in here to what is going on with new factions. We covered Rebels and Empire in our last episode, so if that's your main two factions, definitely go and check out that podcast. Today we're starting with Scum. We're going to pull up a little I don't know what you would call these, I guess. I bet it says at the top, patch notes. That makes sense.
Indeed.
There's patch notes that comes out every time. I won't read it verbatim, but it does highlight the pilots we should keep an eye out for. Manaroo, the IGs, Cad Bane, Unkar Plutt, and the Mandalorian. Ooh, but in what chassis, though? We'll have to see. So we'll head over to the points and just start at the top here. I'm pretty sure we're at the top of Scum. Yes, we are. If you're unfamiliar with how to get these resources, they're, of course, at xwing.life. That's the XWA website. So you head over to their resources, and you could be viewing the same points document I got pulled up for our YouTube viewers and Twitch viewers, of course. Let's take a look here. Ryan, we have IG-88 up on the board first. How do they make a change here?
So the change existed only in loadout, with each of them getting either 3 or 2 more loadout. IG-88A getting 3, B getting 2, C getting 3, and D getting 2. That's more than what they had. So the total of 15, 18, 18, and 18. So all of them except A are now at 18 loadout. A still at, or A is the lowest with 15 loadout, with that calculate sharing being valued pretty highly to move some tokens around to whoever needs it most.
Yeah, don't see a lot of play with them, and normally when we do, we see them in pairs of 2 or even 3, with the IG-88D crew sometimes thrown in there. So they are quite the investment at 6 squad cost.
Yeah, I think is I just started trying to build something with them just to see it. I think while A's calculate sharing probably has a little more value than I'm giving it, I think if these guys are 6 points, I really want to be shooting twice if I don't hit something. So that's why I like B the most. out of them. Um,
Sure.
and then I go for, and then I copy C for now, just so that like getting the boost with basically Link of Aid. That's a pretty cool trick. I don't know if I like bringing a third and then leave myself only 2 points left. I do like the idea of though pairing them with even though it was mentioned the Cad Bane in Scum, and taking a cannon as well, and really trying to make sure I hit
Ooh,
something and transfer
yeah.
negative tokens to my opposing ships.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that combo. Yeah. I don't get to do as many linked actions like repositions, but two calculates and the synced laser cannon still.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to take the calc action, like to get the double
That's
calc
true.
for sync laser. Like you could still just do your normal stuff as a rogue, but it's also there. If you're just gonna sit there and focus, you may as well double calc. Having two calcs is better than a single
Right.
focus in most situations. It's mainly just like, oh, I now can attack again if if I miss with my cannon, really trying to hammer the, if I hit you, I'm going to give you a negative token. After that, though, like there's a plethora of 4 pointers I would consider. None of them really like synergize specifically with the IGs, or have like any other calculate based things. I'm just trying to find like quality ships. I don't know. You get Talonbane Cobra at 4. You got the Mandalorian N1,
Mm-hmm.
Starfighter at
Sure.
4. You got probably, so there's the Zuckus G1A at 4, the custom one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Mm-hmm.
some other stuff like, I don't know. I probably just like target saturation in a little bit where it's like, oh, I'm just bringing another strongish gun or something that's more maneuverable probably.
Sure. Now, focusing on B makes sense to me whether you're getting a duo, trio, or just a single one. I think you gotta look at B because of that accuracy. Are you taking just synced laser cannon, expecting not to have range ones, or not?
That's what I'm
Basically, you won't
starting with.
miss at range one. Is kind of the thought process, right? Though, like you're just gonna hit with four dice.
Probably. Yeah, like
Okay.
I think between having I went with basic loadout to start. Like I have not played IGs
Sure.
in a
Very few
very,
people have.
very
Yeah.
long time. Like we're talking since 1.0 probably. I'm not already a Scum player that often first, anyway. So when I build a lot of like, I don't know, I went with sync laser cannon, advanced sensors, and elusive. Like advanced sensors allows me to do more red moves, and like having that reroll plus the 3 agility and the double calcs is like pretty good defensive profile. So if I could just do actions before I do my red moves, and then also flip back on my elusive, like that seems at least that's a baseline to me solid.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I take ion cannon or sync laser, it's like I think both have merit. Like to always make sure that I'm trying to push damage through even a range 1, because ion cannon allows me to shoot at range 1 with B.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whereas sync laser cannon is really just gonna make sure I do potentially more damage. I mean, I know you and me have looked at in the past, or maybe mentioned in the past on the cast, that sometimes just a 3-die ion cannon and a 3-die regular shot in average situations in the game is still normally going to net you 1 damage anyway. So it's
Right.
like it's not a big deal for it to be one or the other sometimes.
True. True. Yeah, I didn't realize that 18 that fits that elusive advanced sensor synced. You could probably go like contraband cybernetics if you don't think you'll be slooping as much with them. Maybe get some extra points for a bomb or something in there. Could be some alternatives, but I feel like you do. If you bring B, you have to bring the cannon. I think that would be the only reason why I would be looking at like bringing like A and C together or like A and D together, um, because you get so much more loadout that isn't a cannon. You could be bringing the bombs. You could be bringing expensive like outmaneuver primary talents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could easily swap elusive out for ion bombs, like just because
Mm-hmm.
these guys are just medium bases with front arcs, and while they have advanced sensors to better their ability to turn around and have mods, um, like leaving an ion bomb behind seems good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that is like now like unlocked for them or anything too crazy. Like they could always take a cannon and advanced sensors or whatever cutthroat and or not cutthroat. Well, I guess cutthroat would work. I was thinking fearless. The only thing you really can't be doing is like self-device around. Don't be doing that. Maybe you should better off paying for a cannon. Catherine, anything with IGs? You got a favorite one you would recommend us flying?
Not in particular. I've only flown an IG like once, way back in the start, or I think way back when it came out in first edition. It's not really a ship I've flown much, but yeah, as far as the change goes, as I understand, we've been seeing just a little bit of them played currently in XWA, and we wanted to see them just a bit more, so we gave them just a bit more loadout, just to try to push their value up a bit.
Sure, makes sense. Just give them a little bit more room to show their strength without going, too crazy with it. But that's the IGs. We'll keep it moving here. Nothing going on with Escape Crafts or the Sea Rocks at all until we get to Iman. A fire spray getting buffed. I don't know about this, right? We have Iman Azamine going from still 7 squad points, but gets 5 more loadout. What's the difference here? Did Andrasta go up or something like that?
It did not. Andrasta
Iman
is
just gets to
still free, as I recall, or whatever it was before.
I imagine
Andrasta's
it's
still
still.
that.
I imagine it's still free. Yeah, it only gives you a
Um,
reload, maybe an extra
Maybe it's
bomb
just
slot.
some X-Wing Alliance bias. We love the video game. But no, seriously, we feel like fire sprays have not been present as much, and we wanted to see a little bit of love there. And so, Emin was the receiver of a little bit of a buff for now, a little test, and we'll see how things go.
Yeah,
on
Iman.
getting 5 more loadout. And just to put in context, Will, all of the fire spray titles are free except the changing dial slave one, which is 10.
Oh, yes. I almost missed it there.
Deservedly
Yeah,
double digits at least. Yes.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So we'd already seen cast Scarlet at Initiative 4 with a, we'll say, challenging to use ability. She's at 6 points. And then, I mean, Hondo's good. Just a crazy action. Koshka gets defensive and in primary rerolls. Crassus gets offensive rerolls. So Iman, I feel like, would be the weakest of that grouping. But with 19 loadout, I mean, we got to be reaching for the biggest and best bombs, right?
Oh yeah, I started with proximity mines.
Right.
Like just number 1, take that.
Yeah, so those unfamiliar can drop in that, not with the normal one, which I guess you can do, but you can as well drop it with a hard 3, 3 forward, or the other hard 3 template. So a big range to be slapping those proxy mines down on people. That's 9 points right there. Whew, that's a big chunk of your loadout.
Yeah.
You get 2 bomb slots. Is it worth bringing another one? Just like a regular bomb, maybe thermals?
I think seismic's like just because the reach Iman has, the seismic is just a giant bubble that gets increased because of the asteroid explosion. Albeit it doesn't naturally do a ton of like extra effect type damage. But it does kind of round out a loadout that I kind of like, where it could get contraband cybernetics. We know fire sprays like having that. And then having IG-88D, like I said, it's a small upgrade, but having double calc versus a single focus will help that fire spray chassis both, have some options to mod both potentially attack and defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you get delayed fuses, which is probably helpful when you're dropping a pie plate like the mines.
Yeah, I like that. Get yourself some extra modification if possible, or at least consistent modification, and fill the bomb slots. What's that really big bomb?
Or you can just take one bomb and make Iman just angrier when shooting and say take fearless instead of the seismic charges.
I was thinking electro proton.
Got the big one.
The range 2 bomb. Not
The
normally
big
seen.
get out, everyone out of the pool. Everyone out of the pool.
Yes. This just reminds me of just an old trick, I guess, of Boba Fett. And then you start with your rear arc facing the enemy to drop out that electro proton bomb.
I was about to check that. That Boba Fett crew is 7.
I was gonna say he's not that expensive, is he? Ooh,
Proximity
we still,
mines.
we still got enough for more
we still
ion
cooking.
bombs. Or size,
Or
more
contraband.
sizes. No, more bombs. Always more bombs.
But you're literally like Boba dropping proximity mines on people.
Oh, that's mean. I don't know about that. I don't know if I could authorize that. The electro proton bomb was fun. Well, now we're.
It's currently allowed.
I guess so. Well, okay. Yeah, like a little lone wolf, a little Boba Fett, a little electro proton bomb. Send it right towards the enemy. I don't know if that's good, but it's allowed. So I like to see
People
that.
may not see it coming.
All right, well, that's silly, but I hope to see more Iman out there. I mean, I always kind of thought of Scum as like the bomb faction, but maybe just because all their tricks make it seems like they're dropping bombs.
Dropping all the weird trick stuff.
Right. Let's get to a ship who was titled or noted in the beginning of those patch notes that we had read last time, but this was the Gauntlet. We saw sweeping changes for the Gauntlet. Drop seat is free now. No more paying for those extra crew slots. And here in Scum, we see Maul goes up 6, loadout to 18. Rook gets a increase of 4. Still remains at only 6 squad costs. That's crazy to me. And then we do see as well the Shadow Collective Operator, the non-limited. I thought there was only one non-limited. I thought we had checked on this last time. I thought the Empire was the only one with the non-limited gauntlet.
Nope, this one is a generic.
Okay. Fair enough. But this one goes from 7 down to 6, but keeps all 20 loadout. Wow. I don't know what to think about that.
Air horns.
What did you say? Oh, air horns. Yeah, that's crazy. Normally, yeah, anytime you lose squad value, you're going to lose loadout as well. But not the case here. I want to start with this Maul. Only 7 points for 3 force Maul. And he's getting even more loadout. Catherine, what are we doing with all this force on Maul?
I'm not sure yet.
Me either.
Hopefully fun things.
Figure it out together.
I know we were talking about how like hate is good on the Maul in the past. Pretty much anytime you have a large base with that much force, like the Scimitar or something, I feel like I'm always reaching for hate. This Maul does have a weird ability. I gotta reread it here verbatim
Yeah,
to
you
make
can
sure I have it
spend a
right.
force when you coordinate an additional ship, but they gain a strain.
Yeah, so you
coordinate.
You get a purple coordinate, but then they both get strain. So this is like strainful battle meditation.
Yep.
Interesting. I've only used it for shenanigans, coordinating like other coordinators to coordinate me back, kind of shenanigans.
I opted to ignore almost everything Maul said and just said, you're a gauntlet with 3 force, so I want you to shoot good. So I brought like Zam crew and Forlom crew and Contraband and Greedo.
I was going to say, I feel like if I'm 7 points, I got to find a bonus attack, whether that's Zam or veteran turret gunner or tail gunner.
I think Zam's a really good option here. Because you're also getting like the additional target lock stuff. So like, I mean, weirdly enough, like I say that I ignore his ability, but with Zam, if you just charge her up by getting locks. So you're getting locks and you already have 3/4. You're actually pretty free to coordinate. So, you know, it's still a red coordinate. Doesn't feel that great.
Yeah, it's
So
red and purple.
maybe you find room for tactical officer, but I want
Oh no,
contraband cybernetics.
no, Ryan. The ability treats it as white if you spend a force. So it does
Oh,
become purple,
okay,
quote unquote.
okay. That seems cool.
I mean, a white ish, or we'll say non-stressful. Non-stressful coordinate does have value. I5 coordinate at that. I
So
don't know
Maul only
who
needs
you're
one of the
coordinating
additional friendly ships to be lower initiative than him, not both, right?
with.
No, it's if no, if you choose a ship with initiative lower
Yeah,
than
they
yours,
both
you
say
would spend a
lower.
force. Then you have to. So it has to be both. Okay.
Mhm.
So obviously, you chunk Maul up, but like who gets the stuff? Who does he help? Who's he enabling? And
That's
normally wouldn't get to do cool things. Usually coordinates great for like for to help lower stuff get locks for munitions. So like what are the good munition carriers? Is it the M3As? Giving Genesis Red a lock at I5 seems like a great idea.
Do we still have um, a
Genesis
3-point
Red
Y
can't
wing?
take proton torpedoes, sad. Take plasma though.
I'd be assuming Y wing or M3As, somebody who could really take advantage of that target lock. M3As, Sunny Bounder or Gargor have so much loadout. They could be bringing munitions of any type.
I like
Uh,
Genesis Red getting that lock and stealing, not copying, not
mm,
stealing, I guess,
hmm
their mods or whatever.
I can
But it
see
would
that.
be plasma torp for me at least. I can't get the other options. Probably just crack shot then.
Um,
Make
my
it somewhat dangerous in range one.
It'll
Oh no,
be
wait.
someone
Just res
we
torp.
talk about, I think, in a little bit here. Uh, Tugboats. Their tugboat action is coordinatable. Coordinatable? I think I'm making up that word. You're able to coordinate
Ooh,
that action.
interesting.
Normally they struggle because they move at I1 and then there's nobody in front of them to tractor beam. So they just sit there with the focus. Why not? Somebody coming along and activating that tractor, and then potentially Maul is getting benefit out of shooting a tractor target then too. Other than that, I'm not really sure. The lower initiative hurts here. Maybe somebody like
Uh,
Zuckus.
I was gonna say Zuckus is a good
Don't
target.
don't big gun. Gonna need a target lock.
Like big gun G1. G1A that can
Yeah,
barrel
you
roll.
want.
Key
Yeah,
point, barrel roll.
you want to shoot at my G1, whatever. That's interesting.
Tarani. Line up that bullseye.
Ooh man, we're talking. Our list is getting less and less maneuverable.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I look at it, I'm like, meh, maybe not.
um, other things that I would shout out here for Maul. I really like Gamma's key on gauntlets. Gamma key lets you hold your reinforce token, so you roll up with the reinforce, and you can save it so you get 2 rounds essentially for each of your reinforces. I like that on my gauntlets. I'm not sure there's a because we get drop seat now. Oh my gosh, I was like, I don't know if I have enough crew members for all of this.
You have so many crew slots.
You have
I
4.
see that. Can we fit? I want Kira. I want the Mandalorian. I want the child. Let's get
Oh
5 force.
gosh, that's
Let's
so much
go.
force.
Let's go. I want all the force.
I
I
mean,
still have
if you already
7.
like hate, instead of paying for hate, you could just have the child. It's basically
That's
built-in hate.
well, just shoot at me. I dare you. And then 7 points for another crew member. Well, that's like Amakia just was talking about. There you go.
Yeah,
Just temper it's
Quinjafts is the only M3A that can take proton torpedoes, but it gets proton torpedo and cutthroat. So like you get yourself a dynamic duo of Plasma Torp Genesis Red and Proton Torp Quinjast. You have 5 points left, kind of just fill out something that might not require Maul's coordinate to be good.
Assistance, yeah.
Five's a lot to do those. So.
I'm fascinated by this Maul. At 7 points, he was always traditionally like more expensive than a fire spray. So now bringing them more in line with fire sprays, I could see the extra play there. He's essentially getting, I think we said what, drop seat used to be like 3 or 4 points. If you guys remember. I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe
It
was just 2.
was
Like
2.
2, and then it was like 6 or something. Started low, went back to being high.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, really thinking about it, these guys are getting like 10 more loadout because of that free quote unquote upgrade. What about Rook Cass? Very, very good with their ability before you engage. Gain a strain while you perform a primary attack. If you are strained, you can change one of your blank or eyeball results to a hit result. So guaranteed modifier every time you engage. Super good. Only initiative 3, but that's kind of
take
beneficial.
Our 3-point contraband tax.
Yes, this is. I actually didn't put it on Maul just because he has so much force that not as needed, but everybody else big contraband tax. Either you're trying to do some fancy maneuvers with that red reinforce or just stomping around.
I'll again note I like Forlom on large base ships, and when Rootcast is so accurate, it provides a really good gun for our initiative. I think Forlom's a good piece too as a crew. Alternatively, after contraband, you have like 9 points, so that could also be Zam Wessel. Twice.
I was double checked to see if you can put Zam in there, and you certainly can. That would be really good with the end of round bonus attacks because you could potentially still be strained for your pilot ability. So I like that. Catherine, are we missing anything for these gauntlets?
Oh, notorious.
There are so many things you can do with all the additional crew slots. I've seen people putting out a lot of combinations, which is exciting to see. The Gauntlets has been a bit of a rough ship to deal with. It's a bit expensive, a bit bulky. And yeah, we wanted to give it something more to do. Try let's just go big and see what people can come up with for it. See if it gets people excited, which seems to be the case.
Yeah, Will, I was I think it was one of the days in the weekend, I think it was like Saturday. I went down, I was like, okay, let's just look at all the gauntlets again. Let's just make a build with just a gauntlet. How does it look? The one that like caught my attention the most, and this is gonna sidetrack a little bit because it's not in Scum. The Empire, actually, Captain Arc, because I can take Contraband, Notorious, and Seventh Sister Crew. Oof. And every time I think of Seventh Sister Crew, I shudder. And I'm like, no, not again.
7th doesn't work on strain, does it? Those don't combo together.
No, but it's still not fun. Okay. It's not great. Not a good time.
I was just making sure.
It's only fun when I do it to you. When you do it to me, I don't want to think more. Don't make me think about taking stress, and it could be a jam or a tractor. Please no.
I thought you had to be a bounty hunter to take Notorious.
No, you just need an illicit slot.
You just need an illicit. That's right. Notorious Ezra's. That's right. Okay.
Notorious Kaz we had in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. On Kaz.
Kaz definitely not bounty hunter.
Not a bounty hunter. Okay. Maybe I was just thinking of like it had to be on like Manaroo or Rook. For Boba for whatever reason, right? Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, we've seen it on Chewbacca as well. So I don't know what I was thinking there.
Love Resistance Chewbacca with Notorious. Blew that a lot.
If you're a large base, people want to shoot at you. You know what I mean? Especially if you're slow. You're so slow, you're trying to stop. You're actively trying not to move anywhere. You're gonna get shot at. So that makes sense. You said what is it? Points these days? It's only 6 points. Wow. Okay. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I like those changes. I expect to see more of them, though. So many, like returning ships in XWA. It still seems so fresh to me having access to these ships like Forlom and stuff that we hadn't had in so long. But Gauntlet's still one of my favorites. So what? All right. So before we get off of them, what is up with this Shadow Collective? I don't even know what their initiative. It's 1.
That sounds right.
Yep, looks like it.
Okay.
It will know where it's going because nothing will be blocking it.
Yeah, I guess so. 20 loadout. I'm trying to think of even what the no talent slot. So pretty much just looking at crew. Jabba then, right?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
If we're going big, it's a Jabba. Java overtuned. And
I've seen quite a bit.
something big, I guess. I don't know. Lots Razzi, I guess. Ain't never gonna take me out. Sure. And Greedo, just beg people to attack you, I guess. I don't know. It went off the rails there, but Java could be an interesting choice, especially with all these drop seat bays. Getting slapped onto the gauntlets. Could be interesting. He's got so okay. All right, fair enough. 20 loadout. More than needed, I would say. Because I'm finding a lot of options. Maybe not more than needed, but not limiting there. Well, let's keep it going here. I saw something in Jumpmasters. That's right, the aforementioned Manaroo gets even more loadout. I've only been seeing buffs to Scum.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the last pack. I'm trying to forget now. I want to call it Most Wanted, but that's not what it's called now. What was the
Armed and
SLs?
Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous. Thank you.
Yeah.
That recently came out. Did that? I know. So that lead time was pretty short, but did those affect the rest of Scum at all? Those new standard loadouts that came out?
I would say they weren't exactly affecting what we were doing here, per se. Of course, we keep an eye on, as much as we can, what people are playing, what people are looking at, what people are asking for. Mostly here we're looking at, I believe these are all large ships so far.
I think so. Yeah.
Fire
The
sprays
medium.
and medium. But yeah, we're mostly looking at the larger base ships or Scum and just trying to give them a little bit more love.
Makes sense. Always a
Scum isn't,
difficult thing to
Scum I
balance.
think has been a mostly good place, but just want to try some different things out.
Yes, indeed. And we see here, as I was saying, the Manaroo that's in the Jumpmaster got some extra loadout. The only thing I can think of with Manaroo is we talked to Alex Davey, and he had a MiGs on his Manaroo. I assume that would still fit if we're... Well, that was AMG points, to be fair. But I assume a similar combination could still be achieved.
MiG sounds exciting.
MiGs, Iron Cannon, Punishing One, Contraband, as you do. I still have 5 more loadout. Okay. So yeah, then Cutthroat is what I used to bring on him. So now we're getting even 3 more points. That's crazy to me. I don't know what I would do with that. Maybe R4B11 in this particular build. Maybe get a different cannon. Oh, I already bring an ion cannon. But unfortunately, as much as I want to see this Migs Mayfield work, Alex Davey did not inspire much enthusiasm about hunting down those double attacks. I do see the torpedo slot. Ryan, is it worth just reaching out for that proton torpedo with Manaroo?
That would be the issues. Always can be the initiative on those, though. Lower initiative, being able to get a lock on something and then use the torp. But if you partner with that new mall, more likely to get a lock at I-5. I don't know if this is the target for that, but sure.
I think you were just saying how you needed a 5-point ship to round out your mall squad. Could be a proton torpedo Manaroo. That is intimidating. 4 dice at all ranges there, but yeah, going to be difficult to pull off. I was trying to think about if there's other crew, or not crew, sorry, gunners. Obviously,
Gar Saxon Gunner, I recall, was the thing with Manaroo. So you could do R5P8, Gar Saxon Gunner, Contraband, and you still have 5 points. That's pretty solid.
You said the reroll bot?
Yeah, R5P8.
Dang, okay. Yes, that's right. There was a lot of Gar Saxons. Gets the extra die for removing a red or orange token from the defender. I like that offensive output there. They in the reroll, doubling down on it as well. Probably going to get, I guess, yeah, probably more consistent than a proton torpedo.
Yeah, you could do Fearless, Gar Saxon, Contraband, Ablative Plating, R5P8.
You can't do Fearless.
Oh, that's right. Yasby just let me make it.
It lets you. It doesn't mean it works, but you can equip that upgrade.
Yeah, I know. Expert handling for white barrels is probably a good idea.
Sure. Especially early on, trying to find your lane. I can see that. Used to see a lot of Manaroo. So maybe with a little extra love here, you can see them back on the table as that kind of large base efficiency piece. Especially, it feels like every other ship in Scum is 6 points. Seems rare to find one at 5. Well, I'm scrolling through though to see what's next. Scroll past all these small base ships except for Unkar Plutt. I was trying to think of. I was calling them tugboats. That's not their actual name. It's the Quadrojet Transfer Space Tug. Yes. This pilot Unkar Plutt, as we see him from the movies, screaming, "That's my ship," has the ability to hand down tractor tokens to anybody who they're at range 0 with. So that includes yourself, friendlies, and enemies, all getting a tractor token at the start of engagement phase. So a great blocker. You can come up. You don't need to spend your action doing your Space Tug tractor array. You just need to get in the other ship's way, and you cause a similar effect.
Indeed.
We see... I just noticed his title is Miserly Portion Master. Amazing. But 3 more loadout, was at 6, now is at 9. So, I mean, numbers wise, 50% increase overall in loadout. Looking pretty good. I don't know what that unlocks for him. No talent slot. Does have a crew slot and payload.
I think you always got to check that crew first in Scum, right?
I was looking through Scum. I was like, is there anything? I know we normally look at like Ketsu, cares about tractor tokens, so that's a good one.
Also look at ability to give this
Yes.
coordinate, so a little
Go
more
to
utility.
Hondo.
Yep. Hondo or Grief Karga. Or not Grief Karga. Protectorate Gleb is one that can
Yep.
give you essentially a white coordinate if you transfer the red stress token to a ship who's about to do a blue. Nice little trick
Hey,
there.
Will.
What?
You know how you mentioned that this ship cares about, it could care more about blocking stuff to get its tractors
Yes.
off. What if you could look at your opponent's dial? Informant.
I don't like where this is going, but yes, informant.
Informant and contraband
Uh,
cybernetics.
yeah, for your backups and stuff.
Yep.
Sure. I would recommend Dead Man Switch. Why don't you just be near where they are and blow up as well? But either way, that's disgusting. I haven't actually seen. I'll be honest with you though. Ever since XWA was like, we're putting all the dial peaking back, and we all kind of groaned. It hasn't really been doing well. And this is like someone who was like really keeping an eye on it ever since they said that. I don't like it in the game. I accept that it is a card in it, but yeah, it's kind of still hard to use, or it doesn't give as much benefit as you would think anymore.
Or I honestly think there might be a stigma around it that like if maybe I'm off base on it, but there could be the stigma that if you bring it, it feels dirty. So like people just don't like it's a prisoner's dilemma thing, right? No one might be trying hard enough with. I don't know.
Well, they're not
There's multiple
cheap.
angles it could be.
The points don't recommend that you bring them
No,
either.
they are costly. Still a powerful effect. So just always double check if things care about blocking or anything close that could be or just arc dodging in general. Like it's a lot easier arc dodge when I know where you're going.
Right. I mean, this is a tractorine ship as well, so it'd be nice to look at your dial and then know, well, if I put you in front of the rock, you have a K-turn on your dial. You can't rotate or whatever. Something, whatever the situation may be. I don't like that,
because
but
they have to opt
it is a
into
pretty
like,
good
do they want to
upgrade.
rotate themselves?
Sure. Luckily, the listening device is limited, so your opponent will know that you're listening in on their comms as you approach them.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, a good shout out. We don't normally think about those. Like I said, maybe it is the stigma around them.
I think they're just too expensive, and we don't need the training wheels. I think most people are pretty good at figuring out where things are going regardless.
That's kind of how I feel. I was like, well, I don't. You're going towards me or the objective, right? Like, what's the big trick that you're gonna pull? So yeah, they have not been eyeing them. I tried them out at first to see if how do we abuse them, and it's pretty tough. Not gonna happen too much. I will say before I move on from Unkar Plutt, which I'm excited to see. I normally have been running Sarco Plank, the I2 quad jumper, and
Been seeing that.
I've been putting afterburners on them because I like to go 3 speed, and then boost into tractor beam array. We could see this on Unkar Plutt as well, being able to utilize that 3 forward, 3 bank, and then boost and barrel roll into a good blocking position. Gives you just a single point for automated targeting priority. I always forget these guys have tech slots.
Yeah, for reasons. But yeah, this point increase is mostly just to bring Unkar in line with where Zuvio and Sarko are, so we can hopefully make Unkar a bit competitive, and maybe we'll see him on the table.
Sure, yeah, makes sense to me. I like the low quad jumpers, so I would like to see more of them, but maybe not a Zubio in every list. It can be a bit much. Speaking of a bit much, I think we see our first red numbers out on the point
Indeed.
squad here for Scum. Cad Bane loses 2 loadout. This is obviously the customizable rogue class Cad Bane. And I believe the notes were talking about specifically targeting synced laser and proton or rocket. Is that right?
Indeed, that is correct.
Yes.
That combination costs 12. This puts him just below that.
Yeah, I mean, synced laser cannon, hard to argue. Get that 3 dice gun at range 2 to 3. And it works with your Dead to Rights ability, so it's not fighting against each other. Does work with then as well, in theory, that proton rocket working with the Dead to Rights. So that normally, I think someone was describing it as like, normally you want like 2 upgrades that work together, like these 2 upgrades combine into a better one. And that was kind of, those 2 weapons were kind of covering each other's weakness, which I like to see, the range 1 bullseye, and then like a range 3, barely an arc thing there. And yeah, I guess, I mean, it was getting to become a standard loadout for CAD. So I
Yeah.
like that change up there.
And CAD
Uh,
has been a significant staple in a lot of scum lists, so just give it a little tap down. Hopefully, maybe some other things will have room to live.
sure, makes sense. What should we be putting on our CADs now? I mean, I'm always looking at bombs and illicits, of course, but man, I guess Cad
You
Bane's
can
got a lot of
kind of
options.
play the slightly light version of what he had before. You can do ion cannon HLC.
True, true. Yeah, a little different ranges, but kind of the same idea there. I guess
Nothing
the
really is covering that sort of like shorter range area. Like once they get into range 1, they are sort of in your like easier bubble to have less damage to worry about incoming from your ship. But you get that sort of like 3 die wide arc and then more dangerous bullseye on top of the dead to rights.
makes sense. I mean, does CAD have to bring a cannon? I assume that most people had made the transition over from proton cannon, which was like kind of like his signature weapon for a long time, with there only being 1 more point to get synced laser cannon. I've seen more and more people just opt for the wider arc attack. Is that something you have to bring with CAD? Is it even worth exploring, looking at just bringing like an expensive crew and like a bomb or something?
I mean, when you don't, I know of like very few people, and I know the one specific person, Alex Merrill. He religiously runs proton cannons as his only secondary weapon on CAD, with just a good crew. I think lots Razi and contraband or something.
Sure.
He will just sign up. He will line up that bullseye at I-4 and not even care. He'll just end up in it somehow. He'll get it done, usually by blocking. But outside of that, I like the higher floor of just bringing a full wide arc cannon with synced or ion cannon. Bombs are helpful. Cruise slot is valuable in Scum, so you just got to balance out from there what you want to do with it.
Well put. Well put. Yeah, you don't have 311 tossing you calculates, so I think really the only way you can get calculate for your synced laser is IG-88D. You still get 2 points for something, I guess. I don't know what that would be. Not much, apparently. Dead man switch. But, interesting. Alright. Well, Cad takes a bit of a hit there. Going down in loadout. Oh man, how many more ships we got here? Oh, we're almost to Z95, so I forget. Scum has like 30 ships these days. Pretty
Indeed, so
awesome.
many.
So what is the next one here? Oh, almost missed them at the bottom of the page. The ST-70 assault ship. This is the Guild Bounty Hunter Q9 and the Mandalorian. We'll start with the Guild Bounty Hunter. That's the pair of double pipped. They're not exactly non-limited. Well, I guess they are non-limited. 2-pip non-limited. They get actually a big increase, going from 6 to 12 loadout. They are 5-point medium base ships. The Guild Bounty Hunter, as we all remember. I'm sure we all remember, but for those who don't, while you perform an attack at range 1 to 2, you may spend 1 non-recurring charge from your equipped upgrades, your equipped illicit upgrades, to change an eyeball result to a crit result. So turn your illicits into force charges, I guess. Going
Into
from...
malice?
Sorry, what? What'd you say?
I said change your illicits into malice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Illicit charges become force charges. Yeah. Which is pretty crazy. Now can get cloaking device to get multiple charges. I'm trying to think. Is the only other one
Tail blaster.
Tail Blaster? Yep. Yes.
Yep. Do you spend 2 points? So it's wanted to be one of the cheaper illicits, but have multiple charges. I think it's reasonable. I think you take Contraband as like a baseline, and then Hotshot Tail Blaster for the ability.
Yeah, their blues are.
Then you have 7 points left, which is like that's actually pretty solid amount. For 7, you could try L337 and Fearless to help that dial out after you lose some shields and neuter a shot incoming at you that naturally rolled well.
Yeah, I like that because I assume you're taking evades to just guarantee some defense. I guess you don't want to spend these charges. They only modify your dice, so you could be taking focus actions still. But yeah,
Have we had? Oh, okay. So the loadout went up 6. I was gonna say, have we had 5-point assault ships before? Was that a thing?
No, I don't think so.
Well, we clearly had it before in XWA.
Well, okay.
The squad cost didn't, but it wasn't seeing much play. It's 5 points for this is an interesting spot.
Yeah, because that's very similar to the Manaroo. Where I was talking like kind of a cheap kind of tank out there, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have the turret, but you also don't have to fly a large base either.
Mm-hmm.
Your dial isn't great, but you are a beefy 9 health on 2 agility.
Yeah, willing to spend your tokens on defense.
At something and destroy it.
And being able to 5K or 0 stop, that's a big difference. When I see players fly this successfully, it's like forcing your opponent to guess where you're going to be by doing one of those 2 moves has generally led to more success than just making an obvious move.
True. I just was reminded after I said that of they would like to take a focus action. Why not just always focus on my second one? I'd be taking L3 on the first one. Second one, why not take Lando? Turn your defensive token into an offensive reroll. Always a good upgrade out there. These things are actually kind of mean looking. I don't know what to think about. I don't know about both of them. Don't know about 2 of them in one list. But a single one out there is just kind of just a fast, beefy attack platform. Could be pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see them get on the table.
Very cool. So the other changes then were to the Mandalorian. Loses 7 loadout, but goes down to 6 squad cost. Had a huge amount of loadout when he cost 7 points. Now only 18 loadout for the Mandalorian. Of course, it's the Mandalorian, so we gotta double check, make sure that. Oh my gosh, the child still fits on there.
Indeed.
Match made in
Absolutely.
heaven.
Child contraband, and then figure it out from there.
Right.
Unfortunately,
That's the math I was
like,
checking on.
one squad point away from having outmaneuver.
Mm.
Because I'll say that the dynamic of the Mandalorian is between his ability and the child, he's really hard to push damage into when there's a lot of ships looking at him. So you want to naturally put him into the fray, like in the meat of the fight. But if your opponent decides to not opt into pointing enough things at him, he needs to still be threatening when stuff isn't looking at him, which is why I've liked things like outmaneuver on him in the past. Well, outmaneuver you can't take if you are taking the baseline child and contraband. After that, I mean, you got to find ways to modify and have better offense, outside of just a regular focus 3-die shot, really. So whether it's like it can take juke, it can. We know you're going to have an extra illicit, which is probably often going to be either overtune modulators or false transponder codes.
Yeah, you normally tuck your false transponder codes, so
Yeah.
you could, in theory, reveal it mid-combat, right before you think you're going to target lock somebody.
Not really any gunners that like
No,
have
I
that
was
like
looking through the
force you
gunners.
to shoot me
I
thing.
wish Bosk would work a little bit better, but you kind of need to invest in stress clearing methods, so you can't.
And
take the
anything that's
child.
more defensive just makes your opponent not want to shoot you more.
Right, I was like, anything that talks about shooting guns better, and there's not much.
Yeah.
Not much
Stealth
option
device,
there.
it's like that's not good. Notorious would sound good, but again, it's you already want your opponent to look at you, and Notorious makes him not want to look at you.
Sure. I mean, swarm tactics and just swarm tactics Greedo and just run down the middle of the board with a buddy. It's gonna be hard to ignore you. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with the last of those points, but I like that we've already come up with several different options, including not taking contraband. What? I
Oh
can
no,
see
I'm
it though.
taking contraband.
I'm
My first
I
10
think
points of
you could.
loadout is taken with contraband and the
No,
child.
no, I'm saying I think you could. I think you could drop contraband for hotshot. Well, so that's the other thing too, is that if you take hotshot, you just tuck contraband underneath of you. You still get
That's
the
true,
outmaneuver.
and that would
You still,
let you take out maneuver at that
mm-hmm.
point.
Yeah, still get the contraband rhyme.
Yeah,
Not
that's
thinking fourth
true.
dimensionally here.
I mean, I could just take Dead Man Switch.
Hey, you know what? Whatever you need to.
But yeah,
Cool.
you can still take out maneuver the child within a 2 point thing and rely on Razor Crest to be your contraband anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Always get to slot one in there without cost. I don't know about outmaneuver, but I like the idea of reaching out for these higher, more expensive upgrades, higher cost, more expensive upgrades.
Even Juke might be fine if you want to keep contraband on the native platform because
True.
if you do Juke and Greedo, right, like those are two things that your opponent might want to like force. Like you can't push crits through on Mando if you're shooting because you shoot before him, then you get two crits to him. But then you're shooting him, which is like, yes, shoot me, not my other friends, because I'm better defensively when more stuff shoots me. And if you let him just keep the evade token, then he's pushing a little bit extra through because of juke, potentially at least.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, man, the list just keeps going on and on, even with that kind of base loadout. I mean, because the modifications, looking at Mandalorian optics, worried about his offense a little bit, could be getting more offense there. Burnout Thrusters, the card that came with him, to be doing a
Yeah.
little juking and jiving out there with that
Think about
aggregate
that. Just kind of get
slam.
him really far up the board.
Yeah, can't
Oh,
fight
he
forward
doesn't. He,
5K.
yeah, darn it. That's what I was like, man.
Playtesting worked on that one. They're like, no, don't give it a 4K and slam. Don't do that.
Look, it's going in a straight line. Just let it keep going.
Yeah, you have to do like 2 talent roll if you want to be doing something crazy like that. Could be something interesting though. But that's what I like to see, even with taking a hit to the squad value or taking a hit to the loadout. That sweet spot for squad cost of 6. Gonna get the pilot on the board more often.
Indeed.
Well, what's the next one here?
That's it for Scum, thankfully.
I was gonna say, I think that's it for Scum. Very cool to see. Yeah, as predicted here, mostly medium and large base ships. Getting the help they need. To hopefully find more table time. Very cool. What's our time here? Just double checking. We could probably do one more. What's the? Oh wait, what? Oh, I saw Z95. I was like, oh, what? There's some pirates on the next one. We can probably go through resistance here quick.
Indeed.
I believe that's what's showing the next one on our notes. I want to see what the little blurb about resistance was. What pilots they mentioned. Elo and Temin, HOH, Heralds of Hope, Merle, getting nerfed.
Yes, Kurt, my boy.
Sefton and Zari. So looking at some A-Wings, some Explosion with Wings, and Kazenjaeger, Cheka Jamarisa, and Han Solo. The ones we should keep an eye out here. We're going to start with the Y-Wings, all getting loadout buffs. We see...
Not all of them.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. The ones that do change.
Yes.
3-point zoomies.
On wartime.
Would you say non-wartime?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
peaceful ones. Zoomies.
Peacetime ones.
Yes. Zoomies, as they're often called. Yes. All the zoomies got a bit more loadout. Want to see them.
I take a turret and engine upgrade and bomb.
Indeed.
I can on chorus. Just one, I think. Any of them that have 9 loadout. Oh wait, Kajimi Spice Runner can do it too.
Yeah, the Spice Runner's up to 10.
Non-limited could do it. Well, I don't know about this now.
Ion bomb.
Would you say engine upgrade ion bomb? Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
All of them are dorsal though, so it's not like so. Back when these were like at their peak, they could take ion cannon turret, a bomb, and engine upgrade. They were considered a bit much for that. I think it was more so that you could do it with like 3 or 4 of them, which was kind of the crazy part. I kind of always thought one of them being allowed to do that was reasonable as long as it was unique. But we'll see that with just dorsal engine upgrade and a bomb that fits there, what that could do. I think the Kajimi and Chorus, they're both pretty low initiative, but they can get, zooming around with a turret point out the side or the back is still pretty nice. Wilsa, Shaza, and Lega all only having 8 total loadout, so they can't do any turret, engine upgrade, and bomb. They would have to likely opt into targeting computer, bomb, and dorsal. So less zoomy, a little more accurate.
I'm looking through the different points values, and to me, there's 2 that stand out pretty significantly. Lega, which I'm just going to ignore her ability for the most part, about re-rolling if there's calculating friendlies nearby. And Wilsa, who I'm also going to ignore her pilot ability.
Wait. Lego's ability is actually pretty real the more of these you run.
Sure. But I'm not. It's not something I'm chasing. Is what I mean by ignoring it. I'm not looking for a combo or anything. It's just if it happens, it happens. Same thing with Wilsa. If I do a crit to a person and they don't lose one of their non-recurring charges, sure, whatever.
That one's way more niche, for sure.
We are going to be doing some front load damage here because I'm looking at both of them come equipped with missiles. They don't need the wartime loadout, and with their new increases, Lega and Wilsa both go up to 8 loadout. That means targeting computer and concussion missiles to me.
Yeah, there you
go. Could go cluster if you maybe want an automated or a munitions failsafe if you prefer that. I'm looking at cluster or concussion missile because if you remember the non-wartime ones, the reason we're talking about engine upgrade and targeting computer is because when they do those actions, they get a calculate action as well. So this is albeit initiative 3 and initiative 4, but 3 bank towards the enemy round 2, grab a target lock and get a calculate. And they're both at 3 points each.
Not bad.
Could be very good. I mean, one agility, 7 health, low initiative, lowish initiative, right? Not a perfect ship.
The not so peaceful peacetime Y-Wings.
Yes.
Apparently.
Because they're bringing missiles.
For some reason.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Will. I didn't think about that. I always, like, when I see these, I always want to... I want to engine upgrade boost and then shoot them with turrets.
Right.
Zooming around. But yeah, the targeting computer lock into calculate is a internally like light double modded attack that is at 3 points only. So yeah. I'm much more willing to take just a random block with these guys on an opposing ship that I hope stays in my arc, and if they don't, then at least I have a single calc on my 2-die laser gun.
Sure. Yeah, because it doesn't stop you from like boosting or anything later on. But I used to run a lot of 4-point Wilsa back when she was 4 points, and I was running barrage rockets on her with the wartime before the divide of whose wartime.
I think that was Lega that could get the. That was the barrage rocket, or the wartime barrage rocket. It was Lega because it had the base missile slot.
Oh, you know what? I said Wilsa. I meant Tezza. Tezza is a 4-point barrage rocket.
Why? Oh, yeah, Tezza, you can do that now. Yeah. The first iteration of that ever occurred was Lega. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Always interested to see. I want to know who's willing to risk those angled deflectors to get that reinforce calculate out there. Who's willing to take those risks with these?
Not me.
Not me.
Got it. Nose goes.
Hey, we'll run it through the math of 6 health versus 7 health. But
I know my role. I want to do more damage. So to do more damage, I have to survive a little bit longer, but I still need to actually do damage though.
Yeah, that'll be the
angled 1 now. That is low. That's the lowest angled it's been ever.
Probably ever.
It didn't get changed in this patch, the last one I think, but I don't know. Catherine, have you seen anyone really trying to angle deflectors on stuff?
Not that I'm familiar with, no.
Well, if it would be anything, it'd be these Y-Wings, because they get the extra calculate at least. Like Shaza, she doesn't really need... Well, she does wartime these days. Or, sorry, excuse me. No, she doesn't.
Shaza, though, can copy, right?
She's handing out reinforcements.
Yeah.
Does she still get a turret?
Still no.
She still gets an iron cannon turret, man. Come on. And automated targeting priority. She's got modifiers all over the place.
Or targeting computer.
And she's 1 health on 6, or she's 6 health on 1 agility. So,
Reinforce.
hey, if they shoot at her, you'll be handing out your reinforces. So that'll be good, right? Right?
Or they'll just shoot her when the reinforce. Oh no, it's copied. It's not
It's
transferred.
copied. Yeah, she's making extra reinforces and calculates.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll have to run the math again on her. What's the 6 health, 1 agility with reinforced calculate doing out there? How many shots?
Catherine, was there a particular Y-wing that you liked out of the lot that got more loadout for the Zoomers? Zoomers? I don't know what's better for
Not
them.
in particular. I don't have any favorites there.
Which one do you not want to see across the table from you? If on the other side of the coin, then
I don't have any fear of any of these. I'm good with them.
They're allowed to exist. They blow up.
They're allowed to exist. Exactly. And we want them to flourish a bit more because, yeah, we haven't really seen the Zoomies played as much, so that's why they're just getting a little bit extra here. See if it pushes them into play and try things out. See what happens.
Sure.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Speaking of seeing what happens, fireballs.
Yeah.
They explode all the time, just not actual full explosion. Micro explosions.
Exactly. So we're starting off with a pilot who was it the last points update went to 4 points. Jarek Yeager coming back from 4 points now to 3. And of course his loadout is reflected in that. Only 6 loadout remaining on him in his 3-point state now. Jarek Yeager is that I-5 fireball, so that has a lot going for him there. But man, a big hit on the loadout. Am I right in that, Catherine? That he was he wasn't at 4 points for very long.
I feel like he was 4, but
Well, he's
He's
definitely
4 for at least a
don't
couple
quote me on
cycles.
that. I
Okay.
can't keep track of all the points.
No, I totally understand. I don't know if you had recognized that or not, but
I do
I
not
was shocked.
specifically recognize.
Yeah, I just remember being shocked. I'd never played him at 4 points. I was just shocked to see him with so much loadout value. That's when people were doing the Jaeger bombs, doing static discharge veins, and you choose the crit that gives you an ion token, and then you give the ion token off when you engage. Yep. That's some real shenanigans. Not allowed.
A no fun zone.
Yeah, exactly. Would you like no fun? Because Jaeger's about to give it to you. Now, only 6 loadout. Traditionally, I'm reaching for a missile on this pilot. Easy to take target locks at I-5.
Pretty tight, though.
Yeah, I have to pay for the targeting computer if I want to do that. And even then, I'm only getting ion, thread tracer, or homing missiles. Though I guess thread tracers, I don't need the target lock, do I?
You wouldn't need the target lock, no. The ion missile is probably like ideal. Like the good thing about Jarek is he's I-5, so like you have a solid chance to knock off opposing locks if you get to shoot them first. For any incoming munitions, as long as the ion tokens get on the ship. It's similar to what Vader's done in the past when he would opt for the starter Vader SL. He would opt to use those ion missiles to either negate the range bonus, assuming he's not going to do a lot of damage in the first place, or the chance to ion like Boy Luke.
Oh yeah.
For those that remember how often that Vader would make Boy Luke very sad about the lock he took. But even with the ion missile, you only have 2 points, so you can't get overtune modulators. What used to be the combo with Jarek that you would take for 3 points would be a good missile and a way to double mod it with overtune modulators. So you got to really pick and choose here.
I mean,
what you want to go with.
Is about your own heroic or
heroic probably.
Dead Man Switch is about your only options here.
Heroic, Dead Man. No advanced slam. go this route. So yeah, it's tight. It makes you make decisions, which is I know is the ideal route that
That's the point.
all
Right?
these are meant to go. It's not to be easily put together.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if people want that more advanced slam version of him. Will they go for just reach for thread tracers and let them be a little bit more supporty with a larger number of a resistance squad? I'm trying to think of what you really could do with this
Alternatively,
offense.
rocket.
That's
Yeah, you can't
another
just opt to
option.
just like I have a procket.
Yeah, that was might be where we go because I was gonna get crack shot. I was like, well, I mean, might as well proc it if we're getting crack shot. I could see that actually being very popular. Um, like that threat of the proton rocket. Pretty easy to use as well, right? In the early rounds. What is up with the other fireball? Kazuda gets a increase in loadout up to 16. We
Indeed.
talking outmaneuver again, Ryan? Yeah,
I mean,
or
that's an option.
I'm trying to think of. I think it was just because the points worked out. Is why you guys are so obsessed with outmaneuver on Kazuda previously in some rendition of him.
You get outmaneuver contraband, and you still have 4 points.
Yeah, there's always a lot to do with Kazuda. I'm always looking at
BB
uh,
Astromech, get those system phase roll. Just do a little candy caning yourself for that outmaneuver.
what? Oh, yeah, for outmaneuver, I guess. I'm trying to get the thickest one I can. Just I'm a T70 impersonation here.
Lol
With
T70 now.
R1, J5, hull upgrade, and heroic.
No
But I was thinking,
contraband.
I can get them.
Hey, we're allowed to just take R2D2 Astromech too.
You're just straight up allowed to. Well, yeah, I guess you need a shield though.
Oh yeah, you need the. Oh, okay.
Okay, you are
Nope, no
allowed
room.
to.
Okay.
You can, you certainly are allowed to take R2D2. That's
I
a
was
good.
thinking back to the days where Kaz could take shield upgrade
And
and
R2D2.
R2, and it was like that
Yeah.
was like it. That's all he could do. But it was like really
Yeah.
cheeky because it was only one shield. So you just like move it back and forth, like turn on
Right, right.
off,
You're
get
all
rid
of a
of red
sudden
tokens, yada
unshielded all
yada.
of a sudden, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You also take Notorious.
I mean, it seems like this loadout. I know it's just 3 extra ones, but uh, just helping them find those uh, little combinations, whether it's a
Kaz's
slam.
loadout has always been like very toolboxy. Like depending on what's in your list, can kind of dictate what route you need to go. Like, do you need a 4 point like flanker ish ship that says you either look at me because I have, in this case for Kaz, because I have outmaneuver, but you don't look at the rest of my list, and you just either let me outmaneuver you for the rest of the game, or you dive deep to come and get this Kaz, or you're like, I need a brawler. I need someone who can be up in their face. So you add maybe a little more health, or you add, hey, if I'm going to brawl and you're going to shoot me, you're going to take a strain, a la Notorious, or you take regen mechanics like R1J5 in some
Right.
capacity. So
Right. Cool.
a lot of
I
things you
mean,
can do with this Kaz.
Kaz is uh, to me. I always had to compare to a T70, even though realistically should be getting, you know, 3 agility more often than not. But it does depend on how many damage cards you have. So, you know, that could go by pretty quick. What is it? It's while you defend and perform the enemy's initiative value is higher. Oh, that's right. So it always works on Vader, but it might not always work on like a droid or something low initiative. Is that what it
Indeed.
is? I always mix it up, but that's okay. Cause Kazuda though, still very good. to me, more interesting to fly than say just a T-70 or something, because you got so many little tricks and slams and stuff to do. Very cool to see. Um, well, let's keep going though into A-wings, and we see a little bit more red here. Pretty much, except for Cad, Scum had only loadout increases or good buffs overall. Here we see a couple penalties. First one, Merle, as we talked about in the intro there for the faction, losing the access to the proton rocket. I had not seen that combination, and I'm thankful for it, to be honest with you, because Merle is terrifying.
And you never faced me recently. 'Cause
Yes.
I was rocking that all the time. I was so happy. People were like, how do you get bullseyes that I want? Watch me. I did it all the time. Turns out when you focus boost, you get rockets and just also block people. Or just show up in a lane where everyone else wants to show up. Oh, look, there's an objective. Here's my bullseye. Oh, no, how did I get here? I don't know. You moved here. You want
Right.
out? Leave.
Right. So yeah. We'll have to make some meaningful choices now. Probably not going to reach for a missile anymore because you only get homing, thread, tracers, or ion. I feel like to me, I'm reaching for paint right away. But it doesn't give me much more than starboard slash. Which actually I'm not mad at. It's not the
No,
worst.
or you just do crack shot. It's like a light procket anyway.
True. A lot of people just ignore Merle and don't want to look at him. So you do need that kind of
Yeah,
offensive
it's like,
upgrade.
come back here and look at me. I dare you. It is always funny to like put a bullseye offensive ability on Meryl, and like if they bullseye you and you bullseye them, it's like the worst of both worlds for them because Meryl's ability's on and Meryl has a bullseye like
Sure.
bonus against you. It's like, huh? How do we get here?
Right.
Mistakes are made.
Yeah, something Obi-Wan and Anakin trapped in a ray shield.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to a couple pilots who are switching their squad loadout. We have Sefton. That's the I-5 A-Wing who can boost and give you its evade. Gets 10 loadout, up to 12, but still are now cost 4 squad points. I assume this is just Sefton. Sefton just wasn't getting played enough, or didn't have the extra tools they needed to be successful at 3 points. That's what
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen much Sefton get played, which I'm shocked because I think a 3-point Sefton would be pretty amazing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of him, so we're gonna try him at 4, give him some more loadout, see if that does something for him.
Yeah. I'd
I did
always
try
see
Sefton a
him.
few times when I was trying to, when I was in the NCX League. And it was nice to have a 3-point I5 RC2A wing.
Indeed.
Did all right. I do think it's very interesting to bring Zari Bangle down to 3. Zari Bangle, for the longest time, was one of the more expensive RZ2s. And now being in the sort of cheaper side of things, people forget what Zari Bangle's ability is, because just never, ever flew Zari. But you do not skip your perform action step after you partially execute a maneuver. So when you bump, you still get to do your actions, which can probably be powerful.
Indeed.
And has actually a lot of slots, like 2 talent, 2 tech, a missile, 2 mods. That's actually unless Yasby's like wrong, that's a lot.
No, that's
Yeah,
what the...
no, we didn't touch slots in this, so she probably has a lot more slots than she should have, but whatever.
But I mean, like being
Have
able to
fun with your
double up
variety.
is actually like really interesting. I don't know if it's ever really gonna need double mod, but the double talent's cool. Like you can do Predator Heroic, you can do starboard slash plus a 4-point thing.
Trick
You could
shot.
do trick shot. Absolutely.
Got that rear arc. Make use of it.
Absolutely. Oh.
You
Or
still
just take
suffer
advance.
when you're doing the Fort Zari stuff. If it's a friendly, you still suffer the penalties, correct? Even if you are allowed
Yes.
to take an action now.
Yes. You
Thank
still
you.
suffer the friendly effects.
Okay.
But you still get an action now.
Hey, you get an action. And
Mm-hmm.
I've
And it's not
seen.
like perform action on action bar. It's just you don't skip your perform action step. So even if it's like, I'm gonna block you so you can't press the button. Like, sorry, it's like I'm pressing button. You can't stop
Well,
me.
that's true. It is still their perform action step.
Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting.
You
Okay.
can't stop her.
Yeah. Can't stop, won't
I will
stop.
always action. The biggest action hero of the resistance. Sorry, Bangle.
I like that. I like that. Cool to see. Um, Most certainly we'll get some playtime out there with that 5 loadout. No procket, but as you saw, some good combinations nonetheless. That's the last A-Wing. So I think we just got a couple more here. A lot of T-70s, but we'll get to them last. The next is the couches. The Resistance Transport. COVID now, the flagship there, 5-point ship, getting 3 extra loadout. And we see Takajamarisa getting 5 loadout. If it's Kova, we're always double checking that. How Leia crew fits into it. The general
This one
Leia.
has like the most space I've ever seen Kova have. Like after Leia R4 heroic, you have 8 points. You can take afterburners.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You described the build. I mean, you want to get the R4 instrument to turn your hard turns white, but you still revealed the red maneuver. You got Leia Organa for doing the same shenanigans, though note she doesn't work on stops anymore. Then Heroic, because you're actually throwing a good amount of dice. 3 attack, 2 agility with its COVID now.
If you're backing up and giving people the slip, you could actually take auto blasters too.
I don't know about that. That's crazy.
I know I've like putting just proton cannon on Covenel just to say, hey, if I land a bullseye, neat, just a bigger dice, a bigger like hit.
Why you execute?
There's not really like a lot of other.
I was gonna say, can I pattern analyzer an extra action in there, but I don't think so.
Good call.
All right, well.
Still doing a red move. Pattern analyzer lets you do.
Yeah, but then you're like, that's like the turns you use in Leia for somebody else, I guess. But then you have to do a blue maneuver afterwards. Yeah. It's a little janky, yeah. Here's the thing, Ryan, is that clearly we have to start thinking beyond the small box Leia and R4 put us in. So I'm reaching for outmaneuver. You know what? Let's go crazy. Don't need that heroic.
Oh yeah. Outmaneuver R4. No heroic. I love it. Love it.
Going big on it. You must look.
Don't let me back up on you. You'll regret this day.
Just moonwalking while outmaneuvering somebody would be intimidating. Let me tell you. But
got him, coach.
That's not super fun. I'm sure there's a lot of other things you can do with.
I think the afterburners is pretty fun though.
I actually did think the afterburners was a good call out, but yeah, maybe Pan and Analyze or C3PO, and you got like tubs running near you, trying to get your stress off. I don't know. Holdo shenanigans. I don't know. I like it though. Like I said, we're too focused in on those Leias, so excited to see what other people could be taking advantage of that extra loadout with. Taka Jamarisa came out in one of the Hot Shots and Aces.
Indeed.
Their name implies that they're out there jamming. When they jam, after you jam, you must assign a jam to another ship at range 0 of 1 of the jam ship if able. So you could potentially jam yourself. traditionally see false transponder codes
I was
on
gonna say
this
false transponder
Jammarisa.
code, right? Like, that's just the
Almost.
auto starting point.
It's one of the only ways to jam at a distance as well. So because
Sync
they won't allow Hondo on this ship, which that continues to be the correct decision. Don't let Hondo on Jammarisa. Could you imagine?
Indeed.
Still at 15 points of loadout. I mean, synced laser, BB-8 Astromechs. Are you doing M9? You don't want to be locking ships with your
pattern
own false trans.
analyzer.
Yeah, no Leia. So pattern analyzer. Well, it just keeps
Doesn't
going.
have a crew slot.
No, I'm saying
Can't
yeah. No Leia there. So you got to take the pattern analyzer. And I guess
You take
Elisa.
R3. Wait, all right. So I know there was timing in the past that dealt with opposing R3 astromechs and false transponder codes, but if you own both, how does
Well, you would take a lock action and you'd acquire a lock, and then false
the
transponder
first one would
codes.
still have to be the false transponder?
Right, right. Because then it's after you complete that lock action, then you may acquire a lock, a separate acquire a lock.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would just trigger on whoever you locked the first time.
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
you
just
need
weird
R3.
when two people with R3 and false transponder code are trying to target lock each other. It gets very confusing.
Yeah.
So not probably necessary. Could be fun to get the R3 on there. Yeah, normally maybe like a plasma torpedo, ion torpedo could actually be a better than the cannon because you're already trying to take target locks. Yeah.
Really I2 though. That's kind of rough.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe it is just ion cannon and cool droid.
Sync laser trick shot, pattern analyzer, false transponder code, no astromech.
Again, it turns out this ship has a lot of options. I just wanted to double check, making sure they got that false transponder codes. They only elicit on any of these resistance transports, but finds a nice home on Jammarisa. Only 4 points too for this couch, so pretty cool looking, I will say.
It's a couch you should not be sitting on.
Yes, is the ouch couch, if you will. You won't. I see. Okay. All right. Who else we got here before the T-70s? That is one more red number here in Han Solo. The YT-1300 was 7 cost. Now goes down 3 loadout to 21. This is like the Han Solo, if I'm not mistaken. We've been using. I haven't seen so much Poe so much of recent Resistance Falcons that no, this is unbanned Poe, or I just did it. Unbanned Han Solo. That good, huh? That he's already getting nerfed.
I was actually kind of wondering what was the thought process or conclusion behind the reduction in the loadout value. Is there a certain combination that it
I wish I could say.
out?
I do not know. I do not recall specifically. I believe there was a certain combination. I do not know what it is, but just wanted to reduce it down by 3. I imagine Ray Gunner had something to do with something.
Yeah, I see it's
I'm
1
trying
point.
right now.
I see it's 1 point shy of me trying to get Ray Gunner and Notorious. But maybe Han doesn't
Yeah,
really
that's
want
what it
Notorious.
was.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yep. Yeah, you could do Ray Gunner Contraband Notorious.
Yeah, and it's just light them up, right? Like, I don't think Contraband works as well with I6, but still, a nasty combo nonetheless, right? So you're still limited there. You still have plenty of loadout after Ray. I mean, Ray trick shot, deploy somewhere crazy on the board. You could even get a rigged cargo chute. Nasty.
Honestly, false transponder codes, like if you don't care about bringing Notorious now, I mean, I6 locking with false transponder code plus Ray. That seems good.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
that
tight.
was part of it because you can't
That's also
do
locked
Ray
out
false
now.
transponder code and engine
Lone Wolf.
upgrade as an example.
That's what I was trying for. I was trying for Lone Wolf Ray, false transponder codes. I guess you don't really need
Novice
Lone Wolf.
technician, the good old tech.
Well, I don't think that should discourage too many people from trying out the Han Solo. It's just so fun to just show up on your enemies. Force Awakens style.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's not making that big of a splash. In objectives, you mean all of a sudden deploying on the other side of the board. I feel like most of the time now, this is kind of the thought process with like Tobias Beckett and Boba Fett crew to me. Whereas we always seem so spread out now. Very rarely do people like bunch up all their like what I would call like neutral edge jousting. Not seen very often in objective play, so I'm sure that hurts Han Solo's chance for abuse there. Well, I believe we've come to the last ship here, and we're making good on time. So we see Ello Asti, the Born Ill pilot, getting a loadout boost there for a long time. For so long, Ello was the 4-point T70, non-XWA. Been 5 points for at least a season now, but gets a small buff here to 15 loadout. Still has double talent along with all the other T70 goodness. Any thoughts on this? The yellow going up?
People were kind of excited about this. I think there was some combination of like getting outmaneuver plus stuff. Like, seems like a good idea on someone who gets to do white talon rolls.
Yeah, it never really has needed upgrades in my opinion. So it's not really
R68 and outmaneuver.
R6D8. Which one's that? Is that the Bullseye Squad Predator?
Super Predator droid.
Okay.
Or you could just take Predator with something that's 3 points, which I don't really see much.
Underslung, you know it.
My outmaneuver protection. Don't let me as an outmaneuvering ship get outmaneuvered by their outmaneuvering ship.
Exactly. You know. I don't know about that, but yeah, gonna find harder competition, I imagine, at 5 points when we see just a spread of good 4 and 5 point options to compete with. So
Indeed.
makes sense. A little buff there.
Hello Nasty himself was just not quite illing it enough, so he needed a bit more loadout.
Needed to ill more. More ill.
Indeed.
Very cool. Very cool. Someone who was getting in the T70 as well. Now, this I'm getting distracted. I want to say it right because this is Heralds of Hope, not the Boosty Wexley, not Boost Snap. This is Flappy
Correct.
Snap.
Flappy Snap, yes, that is correct.
Flappy Snappy. You love to say.
Goes down to 4 points. Does that mean what I think it means? Well, he also lost loadout, but if I'm not mistaken, let's read his ability together before I go too crazy on my thought process here. But it's down here in the 4 pointers. I can't even find him. At the start of the engagement phase, each friendly T70 X-Wing at range 0 to 3 may gain a strain token to flip its equipped config. If it does, that ship gains 1 calculate. So traditionally, X-Wing come in, wings closed, and then open their wings to get the calculate and their attack dice back for a long time. This Snap Waxy Flappy Snap was restricted to 5 points, meaning without a 3-point T70, you could only find him in 4 T70 squads. No longer. It fits into 5 T70 squads. That's huge, actually, in my opinion. Any thoughts on
what 5 are you bringing? You got Flappy
that's
Snappy.
a great question.
You got Nimi, I would assume. Bring
Nimi.
Bastion.
Yep. Nimi, sure. Bastion.
You got either version of Kai Thornali, whether it's the evacuation of Dakar or regular. Granted, there's no S foils to flip on Kai, but Kai just might be that good of a 4-pointer if you're taking the SL or the custom. You can do the flippy one, and the regular you can't.
No, there's no Dakar here. We're only flipping our wings, so we gotta be bringing. Some of these pilots. I think the biggest debate, is do you bring the more higher initiative ones, like Zay, Jof, and Sai, or you bring in the more offensive orientated ones? What'd you say? Akare?
Yeah, Karakun.
Karakun, yes. The other I4, yes, of course. This is what I mean.
Take BB-8, do that system phase hard turn boost.
So good. Boosting, and then doing barrels and stuff. Oh, crazy. That's the other thing too with Snap is that when you close your wings, you could focus roll and then open them with now a focus and you'd have 4 tokens: strain, calculate, focus, and stress. But you'd have a lot of modifications for barrel rolling.
You can also just tell all of these that they can do actions after their red moves with Pattern Analyzer because there's so many of them that are 5 points or a little more.
Very true. Very true. One of them being the Blue Squadron Rookie. It goes down to 4 points. Was 5 for some reason. So you could put the Blue Squadron Rookies, a non-limited in there to fill out his squad. They have 7 loadout. Does that make a difference to you? To me,
Rogue Optics, Baby Blue's back on the table.
Ooh, I like that. What did you say? Heroic Optics? Okay. Wow.
Indeed.
That easily fits. You're right. Okay. No, they don't get the Blue Squadrons. They don't have talents for heroic.
Oh, right. Well,
I was like, wow, that's really good.
I guess. My
Kevin
bad.
can take that though.
You're
The Flappy Snappy can take heroic plus a 5-point deck, whether it's Pattern Analyzer or Optics.
Indeed.
These generics are probably more looking at BB-8s and underslungs. And automated, obviously. I don't actually know about them. But we'll see. Now that they're 4 points, you can get some extra variety in there. Maybe you want a lower initiative at 1 instead of those 4s we were talking about. The other non-limited pilot that gets changed is the Black Squadron Ace. I believe these are the Initiative 4 pilots. And they get a huge increase of 13 loadout up to 15. So these non-limiteds getting more, if not as much, loadout as any other named I5s or I5s, any other named 5 squad pointers. That's the same loadout as Ellie. I'm losing it. It's the same loadout as Elo. So the outmaneuver and the one bot we said R68. Oh, I was like, why can't I equip it? I still had Elo in my squad builder, equipping it. Derp.
Alternatively, of
Interesting.
course, if you're looking for, 4 Protorp carriers, you could do that.
True. That weapon hardpoint giving them proton torpedoes. Wow. That's terrifying. Could be a lot of
Is it though?
firepower. No, actually, not really. I was imagining. Well, if there's like 3 of them, but then somebody like gives them a tracer missile, I guess. But
Yeah.
I I'm not paying 5 points for a tracer missile, so the whole list is kind of awkward there. Is BB-8 still 2 points in this faction?
Uh,
No.
No.
Probably not. No, 3 with a lot of loadout.
Not that that's a wrong decision. It's just it makes list building harder, right? 'Cause,
Indeed.
again, was very familiar with like, well, am I a 5 point or am I a 2 and a 3 ship? So, but that's the kind of challenges you got to overcome to make a great list. And certainly with these changes, we see a lot of potential for both Resistance and Scum. I'm very excited. It's not just recency bias. I was waiting the whole podcast to talk about 5T70 Snap Wexley. That's probably out of these changes. I think that's got to be the first one I start toying with, trying to get that onto the battlefield. What about you, Ryan? What are you most excited about? Anything jump out at you that you're still thinking about? Getting a list together, Reg?
I do like the idea of trying out that Lega and Wilson you talked about, the missile peacetime ones,
Yes.
targeting computer concussion. I think those are good fillers. I'd like to try out, since most of the fillers that I prefer to have in a list can have a little more punch to them, albeit situational. Um, and I have funny, I haven't yet actually put Damaroni Stark on the board since we released Damaroni. And I know every time I submitted a resistance list to Greg, whenever I was on NTX, he was like, "Error, no Stamaroni, no error, no Stamaroni found, cannot accept."
Yeah, no Stromboli, you mean?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, Stromboli. So, but yeah, I mean, I put a quick Lega, Wilsa, ZZ EOD, Stamaroni EOD, and then Poe HOH. I haven't even tried Poe HOH at 5 points. I know a lot of people think that. You have Poe hang out with the Y Wings, and then just have ZZ and Stamaroni go do fast flanky things. Seems cool.
Yeah, I like that. Giving them the idea of forcing bad target decisions. You're gonna let Poe go and just shoot some 3-point Y-wing, or do you focus your efforts on a Poe who could just get away next turn?
I just don't know if Poe should have just plasma torps, just double mod him on the way in, or do like a Predator, R4 Astromech, and heroic or whatever. I don't know.
I think Poe's been struggling with the less expensive Poe been struggling with his maneuverability. So maybe be reaching for like a BB Astromech or something.
Yeah, I did look at that too. BB-8 or BB.
Yeah, because the other Poe has the Poverdrive, so always looking, and the black one, so always getting the extra speed out there. Where the regular Poe doesn't really do much, just kind of flies around double modding an attack every once in a while. So I'd like to see some more BB-8 shenanigans on there, a little boost into the Commander Poe ability.
Yeah. And perform a blue move and then do more actions. So get a 2-point upgrade too after that.
Heroic. There you go. Potentially. I like that idea. What about you, Catherine? What was the most exciting pilot that we had talked about for you?
Oh boy. I haven't flown a lot of resistance lately. My factions tend to lie elsewhere. But if I was building a resistance list today, I think I'd be most interested in what Kazuto and Zari can bring to the table.
All right.
Yep, both
Very
good.
cool. Well, we got to wrap it up for tonight, Captain. Thank you so much again for coming on, joining us for this points discussion.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have for the other factions, aka First Order.
There's been a
Yeah, we're
lot of
almost
discussion.
there.
I love about First Order. We're talking to Marcel about it already. I got a lot of opinions on First Order, so that'll be an interesting episode, to say the least. But certainly, I appreciate all the work everybody in the XWA has put forward, getting new points, organizing events, doing the prize kits, resources, just really holding the community together. And for you two, who I know volunteer, it's really, what do I say? I guess indescribable how much that effort is affecting the community. I really can't say enough about all of the effort and volunteer work the XWA does to keep X-Wing moving and fresh and new. So I will look forward to not only the results of these new points, but what I'm sure they're working on new and interesting stuff in the XWA.
Indeed. Happy to help keep things going. It's good to see everyone rally around the game and show lots of support. And we have a lot more coming.
That's fantastic to hear. Very excited. Well, we'll end it there for everybody. Thanks again for watching. We do drop these right away on YouTube. We stream them live on Twitch. And of course, at some point during the week, we'll get them out to the different podcast services if that's what you would prefer. For now, though, from everyone here at Gold Squadron, stay safe, stay smart. Gold Squadron out. And this is me, obviously, waiting for the intro that I started moments ago to finally kick in.
Woo!
Thank you to ISO, Danko, Baffle, Trojan, Prophet, Shadow, Tycho, Spice, Raider, Lancer, Fallen, Row 6, 626, Chief, and J List, our Grand Admiral patrons. And all of our Gold Squadron patrons and community members, thank you for your support. Gold Squadron